This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
Welcome back to The Cringe is Real, the podcast that cringes along with Australian reality TV and pop culture at large. I'm Sam Crimean, and Eurovision is in full swing. I'll be recapping all three shows of the 68th Eurovision Song Contest, which this year is in gorgeous Malmö, Sweden. This morning in Australia, we saw semi-final 2 take place, and to talk about it with me is my regular pop girly, Shane Nicklos. Shane, welcome back to The Cringe is Real.
Thanks for having me.
Part of the furniture at this point. Before we get into Eurovision though, what's got you cringing this week?
I have a couple. First of all, it's a Eurovision theme one.
Oh,
Just
we
watching
love.
semi-final one, looking
Yeah.
at stuff on YouTube, reading the comments.
Yeah.
People still commenting that, why is Australia in Eurovision? They're not even in Europe. Oh,
It's funny you
like,
should mention that
fuck's sake,
because
it's like 10 years.
SBS have collaborated with the boys at Aussie Vision on a little 3-part podcast series. It's called Why is Australia in Eurovision? And they aim to answer that exact question. So
10 years
highly,
later, but yeah.
Exactly. I would highly recommend our listeners go check that out. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
So shout out to the boys with that one. And yeah, spoiler alert, but the answer is there is no answer. Get over it.
Literally. So that just seeing those comments still make me cringe because it's like our 10th anniversary next year. The other cringe I have is I'm really still over the Tortured Poets department. It's the whole thing. The whole
girl.
fucking thing is a cringe.
I mean,
Taylor cosplaying as Lana
The
Del
Who?
Rey. Get off my feed. I'm not interested.
yeah.
Next.
Well, you know I'm not either, so that's fine. So we've just watched semi-final 2. Overall thoughts and impressions. I thought it was a big show, bigger
was.
than the first semi.
Big and dramatic.
Yeah.
And I will say one word. Fringe alert. That's actually 2 words.
Oh.
But fringe. Didn't you notice?
There
all
was
the
a lot of fringe.
A lot of fringe.
Fringe festival.
Fringe festival.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Petra and Marlon are back looking fucking hot again, of
Obsessed.
course. And we get underway with our first act, Malta. Sarah Benici with the song Loop. What do you think?
Yeah, it was great. It was a good opener. I wrote down sparkly bodysuit, which we
Yes.
love. She's like, what was it? Pussycat Dolls meets Magic Mike a little bit.
Yes. Look,
It was camp. It was camp.
Yeah, I had there was a Magic Mike breakdown.
Yeah.
There's a particular backup dancer that I was like, oh my
You're
God.
frothy.
Step on my neck. But yeah, look, it's a bit of a slow-mo clone. We
Yeah.
just have to address the obvious
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That beat is copied and pasted
Yep.
from our girl Chanel. But the choreo was good.
Choreo
I mean,
was
the
good.
little flip. Gotta
Yeah.
love a blindfold flip with
Yeah.
a gun reload sound. What a way to open the show.
I also wrote like maybe a new pop girly rises. Maybe.
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 She's got...
Maybe.
I don't know if you watch Vanderpump Universe, but she kind of reminds me a bit of Kristen Doty. Like, she looks like she's had a dark past. You know. Up next was Albania. Bessa with the song Titan. Hands. There were big hands at the back.
That's
I was
another
like-
thing with this
like,
year. What's with the hands? It's just
it's like we
hands
just had
everywhere.
that with the Azerbaijan boys.
Is that Dua Lipa's auntie or sister performing?
Ooh, yeah, definitely auntie of Dua.
At the end,
not sister.
at the end, that she sounded a little bit like Kermit finishing that final note. Did you not hear it?
No, what's she like? I love the look. The look
Yeah.
was a huge improvement from the sparkly tracksuit that I saw in the
Yes.
rehearsal clips. So whichever gay they had
Cleavage.
sorting that out, she looked fucking amazing. Great vocal. The song with the tempo change at the end, like they did too much
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
If she just did a Park and Buck belter ballad, I probably
Yep.
would have enjoyed it more.
Yep.
They tried to throw too many bells and whistles.
Yeah. But it was all right.
Oh, yeah.
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 It is very Eurovision.
Very. Look, Albania, I feel, does this every year, but it's like you get into it because it feels authentic.
Yeah.
Love. Up next is my personal favourite of the night, Greece, Marina Sati with Zari.
Zari, yes. Yeah, no, look, it's that very TikTok inspired. She's
Yeah, like the
coming to the
opener with the little
audience.
phone, phone ratio filter. That was cute.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that one. I will say the dress though reminded me of one of those. You know when you go hiking in the woods and if you get lost for 3 days and they give you that silver blanket?
Oh my God, yes.
The dress reminded me of that.
A metal emergency blanket. It did. The puffy.
What's that word? Hyper. You know when you get too cold? Starts with H. I can't remember.
It's giving that.
It's giving that.
Whatever that is. Yeah, I've got LD Charlie XCX here,
yeah.
but that as well.
Yeah,
very
definitely.
emergency blanket. No, I like the look. It's a commitment. The one shot thing I think was effective and worked, mainly because it stood out. Like no one else did anything like that across the two semis, but then breaking it up at the end with some aerial fly around cam.
Yep.
Clever.
Yep.
Great. The little moment with the waving the flag, so Greek.
Yeah.
But also
I was waiting
modern?
for a smashing plate to come in there as well.
I stand this
I also
one.
love that they sang in Greek as well.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they don't have to and they don't do every year, but I love that. I love when a country sings in their own language.
Yeah, they should. It's good. Clearly it's quite sort of Rosalia, almost MIA even inspired, but I'm not at all mad about that.
You are right about it being LD Charlie XCX, though. I think you've nailed that.
With the look. Like Charlie
and the
would
attitude
never.
a little bit
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, she gave great face to camera.
Yeah.
And did Joel and Miff at the end there say that she was unwell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they
Slay.
said. Yeah, so she didn't. If she was unwell, I didn't know.
Yeah,
so
I couldn't
wouldn't have
tell.
known, so
I thought she absolutely gobbled that up. The one of the big faves was next, Switzerland's Nemo with The Code. Thoughts?
I just wrote loofah jacket.
The jacket looks like it was a
loofah.
drag race unconventional materials challenge, and all they had was loofahs.
That's exactly
or like lays.
what the jacket
yeah,
was.
Yeah.
I had the skirt. Oh no,
Yeah,
girl.
I didn't love the skirt either.
I'm here for you and your non-binary experience. I support that. I celebrate that, but I just was not into the outfit.
It's just a little short.
It's not so much the length. I just thought the colour.
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
just a bit meh.
Yeah, I don't think it looked well. Because there was a different outfit in some of the clips from the rehearsals that I thought was better. It was a bit more like Muppety.
That would have added. I don't think the jacket and the skirt went with each other, but then the shoes matched the jacket, which the top should always match the bottom, right?
But look, obviously it's undeniably like I've got here like best vocal of the competition.
Yes.
Like easily,
Yep.
no one else even comes near that.
Yep.
Like to be able to hit every note, but also the timing of that song's really difficult because there's operatic bits, there's rap bits. They did not miss a fucking beat, and then running around on that Lazy Susan.
The satellite.
The like tilting Lazy Susan as well. So it's like a little level up.
Yeah.
Fucking stunning. Like you can see why people are talking about this one
It's
and
giving
why it's high
Parks.
in the odds.
It's giving Parks Australia. Yeah. What's that
Oh,
movie?
the dish.
With the dish.
It's giving
It's
the
giving
dish.
the dish, yeah.
Oh my god, it is a bit the dish. But yeah, look, I think Nemo's going to place high. Do I think Nemo's going to win at this point? No, I don't.
I think you're right there.
I think it's a little bit too Vegemite of an experience
Yeah.
where some people just won't get into it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I personally don't love the melding of all of those genres together.
Yep.
Because it gives me whiplash.
Yep.
But as Joel said the other day, that is very Eurovision.
It's 100% Eurovision.
You're absolutely right.
Also, I read that apparently Latvia and is it Latvia? Lithuania, sorry. Lithuania and Switzerland are having a little romance.
Oh, right. Yeah, it makes sense. So they're both
Twinkie
twinking
romance.
out together.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can hear the bones slapping
Clanking.
together.
The bones clanking.
Oh my god.
A couple of skeletons going for it.
Czechia's Ico with Pedestal was next, and what a fucking like fun little
Rock 90s
like
vibe.
Yeah, 90s little grungy vibe.
Yeah. I loved how they used the whole stage
Yes.
with the boxes coming down. Like we didn't see that a bit in some of the performances and some of the stuff I saw in 71 as well. Fringe for days.
This was the Fringe Festival. I loved, they got a good deal on those wigs.
Yep.
The little dip dye.
All the girls had
blue
fringes.
wig. What would you call that wig? Like if it was in the online store, like, I don't know. I guess it's the ICO now. But
It's the ICO.
I
don't know what to call it.
Dip.
Definitely Fringe Festival.
I've got written here,
But
she's a fun girl.
She's a fun girl. You're right.
And who doesn't love a domestic violence breakdown?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, that's very topical in Australia at the moment,
I
isn't it?
know. I was like, we're getting
some
cam
DV
footage of a woman being yelled at. How great. But no, I've really enjoyed this song, the studio version, but it is a bit generic.
It is, yeah.
And there was lots of
Filler.
concern. Yeah, filler. There was concern about if she was going to be able to hit the notes, because I think, there was video of a live performance from years ago or something where it wasn't great. But I thought she brought the vocal to a satisfactory level.
Yeah, I agree. But
coming right
but
after
filler
Nemo,
vibes.
though. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's between Nemo and Slimane from France. Like, tough gig, girl.
Tough gig, yeah.
So next was France. So first of our big 5 acts for the night, Mon Amour. Wowza.
I mean, gorgeous man. Absolutely
Stunning.
stunning. That mesh outfit. Oh, hello.
He looked
I was
absolutely
frothing.
delicious.
Lucky I was by myself, that's for sure.
The intimacy of the performance I really
Yeah.
connected with. I liked that he really connected with the camera.
Yeah.
The bit at the end with the shouting into the mic.
Yeah.
Like
I was going to ask you about that.
I get it's like, I get it's like showing off his impressive vocal range, but like, as someone that sings, I'm like, that's really dumb. Like you're just like wasting your, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was
actually,
it was hard to watch. I was like, that's painful.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I didn't think of it from that point of view, and it's good to hear your because I liked it. I was like, I get what you're trying to do here. You're like, I'm so I can sing so well, so I've decided to stand 4 feet away from the microphone.
Oh, it's a flex.
Yeah, it's
100%
an
a
absolute flex.
which is cool. Like, it's very French flex, isn't it?
Oh, it's the whole performance was a very French flex.
Yeah.
But,
it's like, look, we don't even need backing music.
Nah.
We've just got a hot man
on the stage,
hot man with a
singing
voice
in French.
Yeah.
And that's us.
It was-
and you will love it.
shouty, but good. I actually, because the music video for this I found really off-putting.
Yeah.
It was like him with a mirror ball thing on, and it was like camera panning around him spitting on everything, like it's like singing so loud you could see the spit, and I was a bit like, ugh, but it translated so much better in this performance.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, I haven't seen the music video. I think that he's doing stuff that other people aren't doing.
Yeah,
So his
totally.
performance is not, because there's a few that are kind of like a repeat of others. So
Yeah, you're right. It stands out for that too, and just white
yeah.
is great. Like no fancy colours.
And
Straight
again,
back.
he's beautiful.
He's gorgeous. Fan faves, Austria, Colleen with We Will Rave.
90s / maybe early noughties dance banger, but maybe the LD version. The lyrics are a bit boring.
Yeah, look, people love this, and I can see why. Look, it's like, it's a fun.
Yeah.
I think it's quite derivative. That's my issue with it. Where like I love when things are 90s inspired or whatever, but this was just like pressing like copy and paste of a 90s track. But there's not enough of a melodic hook for me to get into it. But the production slaps. Like the production absolutely slaps.
The actual music and
Yeah,
the production.
music and her choreo. Like obviously she's a dancer, she's a choreographer. Her choreo was the best of the night. And you'd fucking hope.
But that was a Drag Race first inspired kind of lyrics.
Yeah, true. Yeah, well, I think having a
She's
song
here to
called
snatch
We
the
Will
crown.
Rave and the hook is We Will Rave. For
Yeah.
me, that doesn't get me going. Sorry.
No. I wrote Aldi Cascada.
LD Cascada, totally. We love an LD reference on this pod.
And also, another theme is pop girly being thrown around by her
Yes,
backup
she
dancers.
got thrown around like
got
4
thrown
times.
Exactly. That's happened on a few of them.
She was getting passed around by
I don't know how she feels.
But no, like I really love this track. I just think that the staging could have been a bit more exciting. Obviously, they just were resting on the choreo as the thing,
Yeah.
which
They had that little
Great.
diamond thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
Lasers.
oh,
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah.
no, not the lasers. They had like a little diamond centerpiece
Oh,
thing that
yeah.
came down. I was like, oh, that's very tension, padam.
Oh,
You know,
true.
I was just like, oh,
I think it would have been more fun in the crowd
yeah,
than
And
watching on screen.
Agreed. Yeah, it would have been
if I
more
was
fun
there, I would
live.
have been like, "That's my favourite."
Yeah.
Yes. Denmark was next. Saba with sand, sand, and boy was there sand.
Yep. Glitter sand
Glittery sand.
falling from her hands.
She looked great.
She looked absolutely. I love the smoky floor that they did for
Yes.
that.
Best use of smoke.
What's the term? Park and bark.
It was a park.
Very
and
park
like,
and
she did
bark.
not get off that little box.
She did not get off her box at all.
I was
she
like-
was on her soapbox and she
Yeah.
was telling
I
us
was
all
waiting
about
for
the
her to
sand.
do a dummy him and get off the box, but she did not.
She did not get off the box at all.
The
I liked
CGI sand with matching her dance moves, I thought was quite cute.
Yep.
But besides that, it was a long 3 minutes.
Yeah. She was beautiful though.
Beautiful.
Her outfit, I love the pants. The big, what do they call those pants? Trousers, like, you know, the big flare
Yeah,
pants.
yeah,
They were
yeah,
great.
yeah.
So, yeah.
How triggering for her though, as an identical twin, that they put a CGI twin version of her on the stage. I'm like,
Did
she
they?
can't even have this one moment without
Without
being
her twin.
duplicated. Or maybe that was the point. Who knows?
Is that? I didn't know
she-
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This is why you're the
okay.
Eurovision king. man.
Exactly.
You know everything.
Armenia was next. Jacko. Fuck, I love this one.
yeah.
It's just fun. It's just what we like. This was the like palate cleanser I needed at this point in the show
Yeah.
because we had a lot of like girls doing incredible choreo, but this I was like, oh, wholesome and like, yeah,
Very,
take me to the village.
Yeah, take me to the village. I wrote hot flute player, which I think is the
Very.
same trumpet player.
Yeah, he's a multi
with
instrumentalist.
that folky modern sound.
Love it.
Folky but modern.
Plus, her engagement with the camera was great. She was
Yeah.
cheeky, her little cheeky playfulness.
Yeah, you're right there. Actually, you when she was on the camera, you were watching her and you were brought in. So yeah, I liked it. It was fun.
Latvia was next. Bald Man Dons with the song Hollow. I thought it was interesting because this one hasn't stuck out to me at all throughout the comp. And hearing the commentary that he wrote this song when he was hungover, it kind of all made sense. So I was like, oh, yeah, this is like a booze blues anthem,
Yeah.
which makes me like it even less.
Yeah. I wrote I was bored toilet break song.
Yeah. I
I was
wouldn't be
bored.
surprised if that's the general
And also
consensus.
another hamster wheel.
Yeah,
Another
but,
hamster.
but one
not-
one that wasn't working. Yeah.
We didn't use it. It was just there
Imagine
for
if
show.
he started
Oh,
just
that would've-
a slow jog.
That would have actually probably made it more
Yeah.
enjoyable. I did like the body armor though.
Yeah.
The body armor was hot.
Do you think it was modelled off his actual rig? Or do you think they're making
Actually, I
it?
think it was.
Oh.
Yeah, I reckon there's a bit of a body on it. Maybe not a
He had nice
full
arms.
rig. He had
Yeah.
fucking
I
great
do like a
arms.
bald man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The vocals were good too. I
Yeah,
will say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And look, you know, the message he had, like he had a bit of an emotional
Yeah.
thing at the end.
Oh, that
That
yeah.
was really quite nice. So.
And I think, yeah, if you can manage to have a little teary moment at the end of your performance, fuck
that
yeah.
hooks people in.
Oh, yeah. I was even like, oh,
Girl, were you
what's
crying?
going on?
Did you have a
I was
moment?
almost moved to tears.
Yeah.
I was moved to tears.
tears.
No, I did cry later on in the show, but you'll find out who that was next after these messages. Spain was next. Oh my fucking God. Nebulosa.
Straight from Star Trek.
Daughter.
Nebulosa.
This fucking song. Amazing. Like, this is why we're Eurovision right here.
100%. The entire... So I happened to see this, her winning the Spain national show.
yes,
And
yeah.
I've watched that clip.
Benidorm.
And then watching this on semi-final
Yeah.
2 was just
Heaven.
fucking great. 80s vibes. Those dancers serving
Yeah.
CMT.
And I love Joel Creasy was like, she's giving Janet Roach. I was like, that's funny.
That was so funny. I also wrote, Janet brought her velvet couch from Love Machine.
Yes, it was very the VIP section. Like walking
100%.
into the VIP and being greeted by two camp as fuck bearded men with
Yeah.
corsets on.
They were.
Like, I can't decide. I keep thinking I've seen the best backup dancers of the comp, and then something else comes on, and I'm like, oh no, these are the best backup
Do you know
dancers.
what? This year feels extra gay. Like Eurovision's
Oh,
already
yeah.
pretty gay,
Oh,
but
yeah.
this is like faggot central
Particularly
this year.
The faggotry is
High. Very high.
Yes.
The faggotry's giving 11.
And are we mad about it?
Absolutely not.
not.
You saw the dancers do the jump splits?
Yes. Oh, and
It's so good.
the eyeliner beard combo. I'm like, look, Spain is in an alternate reality where things are acceptable that aren't in the rest of the world.
Which
And
was your favourite dancer?
look, I'm partial to a ginger beard,
Yeah, there you
but
go.
I wouldn't kick the other one out of bed either.
No. Just spit roast me.
Why not both?
Nebulosa can hold the camera.
She fucking would
She
love to,
probably
I
would
reckon.
too. On that velvet couch.
San Marino was next. Megara. So another Spanish band with the song 1111. I've just got here, wow, the Dangerfield store has really upped their LED usage.
I said Star by Dangerfield.
Yes,
yeah.
Which, shout out to Brendan McLean from the Electric Fields performance, who, did you see on his Instagram stories? He was like, that time when I wore Dangerfield in front of billions of people. He was wearing Dangerfield. Oh, heaven.
So amazing.
Heaven.
I didn't like those Donnie Darko bunny masks.
No.
They were kind of creepy. I'm not into that.
It was straight from my DeviantArt account in 2004. Like, this was when I was going through my emo phase.
Yep.
Like, 12-year-old me would have frothed over this.
But yeah,
particularly the animated parts and the exceptional use of every possible
what did Joel say?
trick.
Joel said, Adam's family meets Brat's
Brat's
dolls.
dolls, yeah.
He's kind of right there.
Yep.
I was not a fan of this one. I just also wrote bad.
Well, unfortunately for her, because the studio version of this track is actually quite catchy and fun, but she just couldn't hit those notes, I didn't think.
Yeah.
So unfortunately it came across as quite messy.
Yeah,
vocally.
messy is the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And they tried to distract you with all the stuff and the drummer and everything, but
just messy.
Messy.
Yeah.
Georgia. Hard Georgia. Nutsa with Firefighter. And it was fire.
Absolutely.
think?
I did write on this one, a new pop girly rises. Not maybe.
Not maybe.
Like
She-
a new
she
pop girly
rises.
rises. Yeah. But her
Obsessed.
hair was a bit thirsty though.
Oh, yes, the hair. So what's going on? It was like they went to do dreadlocks or something, and then halfway through they were like, actually,
We don't have time.
We don't have time, so let's just leave
gotta-
it.
we've gotta hit the
Was
runway.
it matted?
It looked
filthy.
matted. She was great. The choreo was great. The song was great. Her vocals were great. And she was great when she sang "Can't Get You Out of My Head" with Kylie Minogue as well.
Yes, I love.
But no,
that she did that. How good.
But yeah, the hair was just that's the only con that.
Well,
I
she's
have.
so hot, so
Yeah.
like, how can you fuck that up? Whichever gay did that hair, like,
the other guys are too busy.
you need to.
But the other dancers from Spain. That's do it.
Yeah, fire that gay. That's all I can say. Belgium's Musti was next with Before the Party's Over.
I was unsure of this one when it started because he was lit from the back and there was no light on the front. And I wrote dressing gown in the dark because it looked like a dressing gown in the shadow. But then when the light came on, I was like, okay, I see what's happening here.
Yeah.
I wrote dark and dramatic because there was a great build up.
Yeah.
And that by the end of it, I really liked it. So I was like, this is a good entry. So
They went for simplicity with the staging, but I don't think... So, okay, I have to preface all of this by saying I think this song has the best lyrics of the competition this year.
Yep.
I think the lyrics of this song are fantastic.
Yep.
And the studio version of the song's really, really good. But the staging let it down a bit.
Okay.
I think those microphones looked cheap.
Yeah, it's been done to death.
It's been done, and it looked cheap, and it moving. Something about the lighting, I don't know. It didn't quite work. If they went even more simple, like Slimane did, I think it would have popped.
Yeah.
More.
That's what I mean. When he got off that microphone stage and sort of took his dressing gown off a little bit and showed off a bit more of that sparkly chest and sort of did that dramatic sort of thrusting towards the audience and camera, that's when I was like, I prefer this more. I'm finding this staging you, because it's just you.
It was a strong
don't need the
end.
gimmick.
Yeah. It took a while to get there.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
It is a bit repetitive at the end as well, but the lyrics are great and the vibe of it is good, so you don't really mind, I think. But
Mid-tier.
Yeah, mid-tier. I think as well in this year's lineup, there's things that are pushing what they are to like the edge. Like there's
What do you mean?
like everyone is committing so hard to what it is.
Yeah.
And this one is in the middle of a few different vibes. It's not quite sad, but it's not quite uplifting. It's this in the middle vibe where you're like, you know, what's the story we're telling here? Yeah. And I think that's why it perhaps didn't connect.
Yeah, actually, I think you're
It's
right
like,
there.
what are we talking about?
Yeah,
here?
what's the actual message you're trying to get across here?
Estonia was next. Fuck. This song is actually really quite surprisingly catchy. The first time you hear it, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, actually, hang on. There's little bits to hook onto.
Yeah.
The coming together of these two groups, I think, is effective because you've got different styles.
Yep.
But this staging, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
This is like not my jam, and I'm
Yeah.
not buying anything they're selling. I wrote their mums dared them to go, so it's like
Oh,
it's like their dads and their sons. It's like I dare you to go to Eurovision,
definitely
battle each other.
blokey. There's definitely a blokey energy in this that I don't connect with, where it's like, yeah, you're right. It's like they egged each other on. How funny would it be if we did a silly dance,
literally
on the Eurovision stage?
And it's dad versus son. You know, that's literally what, and not in a hot way.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the music video for this fucking slapped. Like, it was really cool.
Them finding their dealer.
Yeah, exactly. It was really great. So I'm kind of like disappointed that the staging was so
What's it
simple.
called? This is not our drugs or something like that. We don't know what's going on with these drugs. I can't remember. Anyway.
Then we got a glimpse of Angelina Mango from Italy with the song La Noia.
Another sparkly bodysuit.
Sparkly bodysuit, but more of a kind of like floral, tattooed aesthetic going on in this. Rose and thorns.
Yep. I love the women power. She had all girl dance.
She did.
Backup dancers, so we love that. But maybe didn't quite punch as much.
Yeah.
In terms of like, it's sort of like Italy does quality, but
they sure do.
I think it was still a little bit middle of the road.
Yeah, look, she's great. This song is great. I don't know why I didn't love the staging. I think it was a bit like, so she sat on a chair and then she got off the chair.
Yeah.
The looks are a bit
some girls.
busy. I don't know. Yeah. Because she's so gorgeous. I just kind of want, like, I actually think the staging that Greece did would, something like that would work really well with this. Like, just simple following her around.
Would have been more effective.
Yeah. But look, Italy's just like one of my favorite Eurovision countries. Every year they bring it to you. Yeah. And you're just like, oh.
You love the Italians.
I fucking do. Yeah. So, yeah, don't come for me because I do love this. And it's actually, this is in the odds quite high.
Okay.
It's been up and down a little bit, but still in that kind of like top 5 for a while. And I can see why. Like, it's cool.
And also maybe you think about like Italy's one of the top 5, right? So they just have to give a great performance in the semi. They don't need to smash it to try and win.
True.
So she could have held back a little bit, saving some stuff for the grand final.
And a little surprise. Norway was next with Gorta and Ulvaham, this earthy witch mother goddess.
Florence and the Machine vibes.
I got Florence meets Evanescence.
Yeah,
maybe?
Florence meets Evanescence. Yeah,
this is like every time I watch this or hear this song, I feel completely differently about it. Like it's so strange but catchy.
I need to listen to it again.
You do. Was that the first time you?
Yeah, it was the first time I'd heard it.
Give it another listen and you'll be surprised that you like it.
Okay.
That's what's kind of been happening with me.
I do love the Norwegians. They're usually pretty great. So.
And thank fuck someone sent something different, something really authentic.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Because this year, like watching semi-final 1 and watching semi-final this one, there's a few people that are trying to copy Finland from last year.
Oh, of course.
100%,
Yeah. Oh,
you know.
absolutely.
So
I mean, it always happens.
it always happens, yeah.
It's
and
the-
then, if you're trying to copy Chanel from 2022 and stuff
Yeah.
like that, so pop girlies and all that sort of stuff. But
Yeah, exactly.
Chanel's copied others, so yeah.
No, I really like this one. And I think the camera work and the staging was amazing. That guitar throw.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Great.
Like, I was actually like, oh.
Yeah. Had a
Don't-
moment.
Don't drop it, mate. Maybe that's what he does in the final. Just steps back and lets it
That's what I mean. I
smash
think
the
in the
stage.
semis, they bring it so they can get qualified, but then they amp it up for the final. So
Yeah,
they can try and win,
final is like
so,
a whole different
yeah.
ball game. And closing out the show, we had Netherlands, Joost Klein with Udo Papa, another talked about entry, another hot fave. What'd you think?
Fringe alert. I wrote fringe
Great
alert.
fringe.
Also, that Mully Grubs opener that he had with him on the screen. And just
Oh
his
yeah,
face.
that was great.
Shoulder techno. I liked it. It was
Yeah.
fun. I really loved the little message at the end.
that was my tier.
That was your
moment.
actually
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I was like,
that was your
oh.
tier. Yeah, that makes
It's like,
sense.
oh. And it's so dumb because he's literally just like, oh, hey, dad, or whatever. But I'm like,
Yeah.
and it's so like, obviously a tearjerker moment, but it worked on me.
It had
well
all
done.
of the ebb and flow of like dad dancing, techno breakdance, emotional at the end. It was so Eurovision. It's not funny. I wrote 2024 Netherlands Karja meets Verka Zadushka. There's a little bit of that vibes there.
Yeah.
Another example of someone copying from the year before,
Yeah, but it's not like I don't
but not
think this
a blatant
copies
copy.
Karja at all. Really, I mean, yeah, he's got like
In the
big
daggy
sleeves
dancing.
and it's dagging and stuff. But this to me is like a different energy. Those PS1 graphics on the LEDs got me hard. That I loved
frothed
that.
over that.
And I think this one's quite silly. It's definitely aiming to be in that same lane.
Correct. That's
as
what I mean. Yeah.
Karja.
Yeah, aiming to be in that same lane. But there was the message at the end.
Yeah.
Gave it that extra oomph, I find.
Yeah.
Good way to close the show.
I just don't think the juries are going to go for this in the grand
Yeah.
final because it's fun and all, but like he doesn't give a great vocal performance at any point. The studio is great because there's the modulation on the bit, which is cool. But then when he kind of sings over that at the start, I found that a bit jarring. He's like, "Ooh, Euro," and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. But as a package, this is fantastic.
But also like that papa papa, it's very catchy. It's very easy for people to sing along to.
Yeah.
Audience will vote for it.
Yeah. Also nice to see the Netherlands trying something different because they have sent a lot of really pedestrian stuff, like sort of since Duncan Lawrence.
Yeah.
They've just kept trying to copy that and like do like low and
Mid-tempo,
slow. Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm really glad they're like, nah, fuck it. This year we're doing something completely
Yeah.
different and it's going to pay off for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
My God. Then we had some interval acts,
We did.
which were great. How good was this sing-along moment where like, oh my God, I was gay,
Take me
screaming.
to heaven.
Charlotte
Pirelli. Oh my God.
Word
In
my
fact,
number
that's
one.
going to my fucking... I haven't listened to that for ages. I'm listening to that when I go to work later. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We had Any Way That I Can, another one of my faves. Like it was camp as
was
tits,
so
that whole
camp.
section.
And I loved Petra and Marlon being out in the audience. You know, we love that when they go to the audience.
yeah.
No grinder moment again, but that's okay. It's fine.
We can't recreate that genius. Yeah, I thought that was really good. And then we had We Just Love Eurovision Too Much, which was kind of hotly anticipated because it was kind of sold to us as this is like the next step from Love, Love, Peace, Peace. Like they're going to do another thing. And fuck, it was great. So well written, as always.
So good.
Edward Afsilan, again, killing it with this one.
Yep.
And funny. And then Karja making
it
a
was
surprise appearance. What do you think?
I like it was the right... I'm glad that they had him in the semi as opposed to the final. And they might bring him out for the final anyway, but I don't think they will. Because... everyone wants to see it again. And they've already brought back a few acts
They
throughout.
might bring him back again at
They
the final,
might.
but maybe in a different way. Maybe he'll do
Form.
something else. Who knows?
Maybe he'll do tattoo.
I just thought it was so funny. And this is very Scandi humour. So
Oh,
I connected with this. But the
100%
bit where they were
Scandi humour.
like, so there were two bits. It was like, this is what the Finnish show would have looked like. The interval act in Finland would look like, and then just some fucking moomins and people in sauna towels. Like the way that they poke fun at the Finns, it's a very kind of like us in New Zealand thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like just
I would literally
they
think
take the
same
piss, but it's
thing.
with love.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in Sweden.
They're like brothers. you know? Yeah.
Someone was telling me in Sweden once that they call pimples Finna, like Finnish people, and pimples is like they use the same thing because it's like they're just that annoying little pimple. Like that's where we're at with that. And then also in the song they were like, oh, you know, Germany's got this and Italy's got that and Denmark's got something. I was like, this is so good.
What is it? She goes, Germany brought you Bart, Mozart,
Yeah.
and Scooter.
Scooter, yes. We bought
Denmark's
you. We
got
bought you
something.
IKEA and depression. Like so good,
Mate,
It was. I can't wait to watch it again because there were so many funny jokes in it.
Petra Mede just cements herself as probably the best Eurovision host ever.
And we
if
didn't
not.
even talk about at the very start where they were in the tanning beds.
we
doing
did.
tattoo.
Oh my god, I forgot all about that.
That was so funny.
That was so hilarious.
Like, yeah, I really do dig that.
I was watching that going, what are they going to do? And then when they both got into the tanning beds and then music started with the lights, I was like, cackling like a witch. It was so funny.
Incredible stuff. So, you know, that's all fun. And then the tricky part is coming. And wow, were these qualifiers a surprise?
Yeah.
So I was like making huge claims that this country would not qualify. Like, I'll eat my hat if they do. And they fucking did. Latvia was the first qualifier.
Yeah,
What was your reaction to that?
I was like, what? It's because of Sad Boy. Like, you got to
You
have some
reckon?
Sad Boy in there. Yeah,
but I thought if a sad boy would get through, it would be Musti.
Yeah.
But maybe he wasn't sad enough.
Maybe he wasn't, because he was too jovial at the start with the shoulders and the dad dancing. And
look, no shade at all to Don's. I think he's got a great vocal and obviously he did a great performance, but I just wasn't expecting him to qualify. The odds were telling us that, but also just, I don't know, my gut instinct was telling me that too. So congratulations. Prove us wrong, girl.
Is it, I mean...
But also the fact that
what does Yara Sofia say about Mimi? I'm first. They need someone to go home first.
I guess they need someone to go home first. But the fact that that's through and electric fields aren't gives me a little bit of like I can't even even let me think about that.
No.
Austria, what's next?
Yes,
We Will Rave.
Yeah, We Will Rave.
We knew she was safe.
We knew, 100%.
Absolutely.
There's the pink vote right there.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Take my money.
Yeah, take my money. Let's go dance with you.
Let's
and
go to
then
the peel.
I'll forget about you next
Yeah.
day.
yeah. Who are you? She is like the best drunk girl that you would meet at the peel, isn't
100%.
she?
And
you'd be like,
dance
you're
for the
fun.
night, and then the next day she's like, where are we going today? And you're like, girl, I'm done.
Yeah, you get a text being like, had so much fun dancing with you last night. And you're like,
Who's this?
Who is
Who
this
texted
woman?
me?
that's Colleen. Netherlands was announced next. So again,
about that.
we knew that they would get through. I'm really excited about this one. I think, it's doing what it needs to do well. Do I think it's going to win? No.
No, but it'll place high, I think.
Yeah. I just don't think that jury vote's going to come for it.
Yeah.
They don't tend to go for things that are a bit kind of gimmicky.
Yeah, I can't remember. What was Karia's jury vote last year?
I can't remember either.
Was it
It was
high?
still pretty good,
Yeah.
but not clearly not as good as Lorraine's. He won the televote though.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
win the televote. Yeah.
So there you go.
You never know.
I'm so excited about Sunday morning. Who was next? Norway.
Yes.
So
Florence and Evanescence are making an appearance at the grand final.
I'm really glad that they got through because
Yeah.
it will diversify
Correct.
the lineup.
Yeah.
Um,
Wonder if there'll be a producer's choice.
oh yeah, have they
'Cause
drawn
we-
those yet? It's
yeah.
probably happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the producer's choice thing. How do you feel about that?
It's a television show,
Yeah.
right? So I don't have a problem with it. In fact, it probably already happens anyway. They're just being probably more transparent
Maybe.
about it.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. But you got to make a good TV, right?
Yeah.
You want to have your ebb and flow and your light and shade.
I mean, so it was always the producer's choice, but it was first half, second half.
Yeah.
And now they've done first half, second half, and producer's choice. So
Yeah.
it does give them new powers to decide whether things will go at the back and the front, which I don't see how that's a problem.
No, I don't see how it's a problem either.
Yeah.
And, like it's Sweden hosting. They do such a great job.
Yeah.
They're gonna make it. They're gonna make a great television show.
I mean, what's the alternative as well? Like, put all the names in a hat, and then the show would suck.
Yeah, because it would
just
be random, and then you'd have like 5 couriers in a row, and it would just be like, what?
You
I'm being
need the
assaulted.
flow of the show.
You do,
work.
exactly.
Plus, some acts have like difficult staging that needs to be brought in.
There's all
it's
those
a production.
Exactly. There's all those things. You need to have time for the staging and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Greece, my girl did it.
She got in. Charlie
Very
XCX.
happy about that.
Xenis, yes.
Apparently, she was sick too.
Yeah.
But I thought she sounded fantastic.
She sounded great. If she was sick, couldn't tell.
Couldn't
so that's
tell.
the testament to her being a performer.
And to do all that and like still hit those high notes at the very end, I think is quite impressive.
She got thrown around as well, didn't she?
Did she?
I can't remember.
Maybe at one point.
I think there was like
there was
choreo.
so much throwing around.
The girls are being thrown from pillar to post on almost on every performance. So
The girls are being
But-
thrown.
but some of those dancers, I wish I was the girl getting thrown around. Like
Again, with
step on my-
like,
they didn't throw Nebulosa around though.
there needs to be some sort of after party with the backup dancers, and I want to go.
Are you booking your flight
Yeah.
right now?
Yes. So jealous of all my friends that are there. It's like
I have a few there at the moment.
loving
and
the posts, but also
Same.
can I come?
Yeah.
So Estonia got through next, which another one I was surprised about.
That's a no deal for me. I don't understand how that
Yeah,
happened.
I think the dance, the combination of I think people love dads dancing. It's a bit of a thing because it's like, oh,
You gotta
look,
think,
dad's doing a funny dance.
I keep forgetting that Eurovision is not just for the gays.
Yeah.
Like, even though it feels like it is.
I think they got the mum vote.
Yeah,
The
100%.
mums were like, oh, some men doing a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mum girl vote. Yeah.
Yeah. Songs in languages that aren't English getting through, I'm always happy about
Yes,
those. So
I'm with you
really,
there. Yep.
with them on that, good on them. I think they've built a really good buzz in Malmö.
Yep.
I think they've built momentum really well, and it's paid off. So
There'll be a nice, mid-range filler song.
your
Well,
toilet break.
My
identified
toilet break,
already. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Might go have a shower. Get ready for the Mother's Day lunch I have on. Yeah.
Oh, really? Right afterwards?
Right after,
Oh, fuck.
be up at
Fucking
5 a.m.
Mother's Day.
watching it.
That
and
is
then Mother's Day.
homophobia.
And then work. I've got to go to fucking work. Anyway,
It's a big day.
we take it. Yeah.
Switzerland, no surprises.
No.
That Nemo is through.
Everyone needs to have a shower with the loofah, so they bring in the loofah.
We got loofahs. I wonder if they'll change the look. Can they do that between? So maybe they
think
can't
so.
now. Maybe it's locked in. I don't know the intricacies.
Wonder if
of the
Lithuania will
rulebook.
run out on stage and give him a big smooch afterwards. Oh, yeah. Twink off.
Clickety clack.
Yeah.
No, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for Nemo. Like, I don't know. Do you think it's got winner potential?
No.
It almost has winner vibes in the performance, because I think we often have a winner where it's epic and euphoric like this, and there's something really, there's one thing done well.
Yeah. But playing cricket on a satellite dish, is that really done that well?
Cricket on
Come on, Parks Australia.
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
I'm thinking second or third.
Yeah,
is my
high
prediction.
placement, you might be right.
Really high. Georgia,
Georgia.
our firefighter, got through. What a hot,
Yep.
sexy lady.
She's going to bring a hot performance. Hopefully that hair gets some Moroccan oil onto it. Onto some treatment onto it. Bit of branding there. Before it hits the grand final.
That hair was absolutely for the bin. Yeah.
Thirsty.
Yeah. It
Thirsty
looked like
wig.
she'd been pissed on minutes before.
Okay, well, now that you said that.
Minutes before.
She's just come from lab.
Hopefully they can sort that out and fire that gay, and then she's going to do well.
Looks like she's
But,
been
yeah.
pissed off.
But the producers who are making the choice will be happy that she's through, because that was
A good
hot.
performance. Yeah, and it's another pop girly rises.
But
the gays will eat
sad
it up.
so this got through, but Malta didn't.
No.
So does that tell us that it's kind of like she was chosen of the two because it was a bit of a girl bop off, wasn't it?
It was a bit of a girl bop off.
Yeah.
I think of those two, they were very similar.
Yeah.
And Greece is in there as well a little bit, but had that slight alternative edge to it. With Georgia, just did it better than Malta.
Agreed.
They're similar. Georgia did it better than Malta.
Yeah, I think it was correct. But I still... Malta was really good.
Malta was really great.
Yeah.
Georgia's did it better.
Yeah, and it was less slow-mo imitation.
Yeah.
So maybe that helped too.
Yeah.
And then Armenia also got through. Mm-hmm. So again, I'm glad that some flavour got in, something a bit different, something cultural.
We always love a bit of pigtails and a bit of, local reference. Yeah. No one's milking any, making butter churning or anything like that this year, but there's a little bit of that. Almost.
It's almost live goat on stage.
I'll churn that flute player's butter, that's for sure.
All right, let's go through our non-qualifiers. Albania, surprised?
No,
neither.
No.
I kind of always thought this one wasn't going to make it, but I thought she did great and I thought she looked amazing.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that they didn't get through though. So, because I am surprised that some of the ones did get through. So, yeah.
Belgium, I was surprised.
I thought Belgium would get in, and didn't. So that's a shame. But
honestly, shocker, biggest shocker, even more shocking for me than us not getting through on Wednesday. I'd feel like this one I just really thought it would be impactful.
Yeah, because of that slow build up and all this stuff. But no.
I think it's again showing us that this year is tough. Like this year is just everyone is bringing it, and everyone's bringing all this really like crazy stuff.
And so unpredictable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is a good thing to watch actually.
It's also last year was the first time they did the 100% televote. And now this is only the second time. So we're still getting used to that as a rule change.
Yep.
And that drastically changes who gets through.
Yep.
The fan. I think if the jury was involved, Musti would have been absolutely sailed through.
I agree. Yeah.
But without the jury, and that's why everyone's bringing silly stuff.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of
because the audience
in two minds about.
The audience is going to vote for the silly stuff, whereas the jury balances that out a bit. But what we've noticed over the years is sometimes the pedestrian stuff gets through with the jury vote, and then
true, and that's why they brought it in, right? Because some boring shit was getting through.
Yeah, exactly. And people were getting bored of and they don't want people to turn off. They just want more people to tune in. So,
like you said, we're making
it's a television show. Yeah,
Czechia.
Yeah, I thought they would get through.
Really?
Yeah, I did think they would get through. But again, is it another one of those? What did I write? It's another one of those ones is it similar to like Georgia and
no, this was the rock one. This is 90s rock.
No,
this is Fringe Festival.
I'm getting confused. Sorry.
Yeah.
I still thought they'd get through because their song is a little bit different.
Yeah,
everything's out there. That's what I thought. But
I wasn't expecting to get through. I think only because there's just not been much buzz about this one.
Yeah,
and I thought the staging was a bit lackluster. Plus the end, like it ends with like an instrumental break. Like she doesn't even do like a
big high
pedestal, big finish. It just kind of fizzled. So I thought, and there's that last little bit where people lock in their mind, like, I'm going to vote for this.
She was in the middle as well, wasn't she? No,
this was Fringe Festival,
babe. Like fourth. Yeah. No. She's like fourth. See, this happens when they're forgettable. You forget.
True. Well, there you go. No,
don't get old. Memory just goes, babe.
No, look, not surprised at all. Again, San Marino, wasn't surprised.
No, wasn't surprised about that. I think that's the correct vote there.
as much as we just fucking love them at the contest, like, please don't change a thing.
But no, not this year.
Denmark, I'm a little bit devo.
Yeah, I thought she would get in because her ballad was strong, the vocals were strong, but I think because she parked and barked and didn't move around,
she needed to get off the box.
People were bored.
Yeah. If halfway through, or just at that last chorus, if she started doing a little strut down the catwalk, I think it could have
saved it.
Yeah, I just don't love in the center stage and then some LEDs that like complement some arm movements. Like that's kind of absolutely been done.
Yeah.
But great song.
Absolutely.
I enjoy it.
Stunning. She looked gorgeous. The
Yeah.
sand. We love her. We love a little, accoutrement.
Exactly.
Little something to hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malta.
Look, we discussed this a little bit before. Georgia did it better, but
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for the Maltese, so it would have been nice to
yeah.
see them,
Yeah.
You know.
I would have really liked her to get through as well. But if, like we said, we had to pick one of those Pussycat Dolls numbers.
Zinger
Georgia,
Burger inspired.
the
Yeah.
Zinger Burger. It would be Georgia. And I'm glad. And it's also good for Georgia because they don't qualify often.
No,
they
they don't.
And they usually have like some bloke that comes out, looks
Yeah.
like he's just rolled out of bed. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, it's usually that.
Yeah.
So bringing the camp.
I think
Good work.
because Malta tends to they favour the UK a lot because of their history and those two countries' connections. So I wonder if they will in the voting for Ollie.
Yeah, they might. Oh, you're right. They usually give their 12 to
UK.
UK, don't they?
Mm.
Yeah, cool. We'll have to find out. So, what are your predictions for the granny?
Predictions. Okay, so I think the UK is going to place high.
Me too. Yeah.
Potentially could take it out, but we'll see. I think people are still pretty bitter from Brexit. But it's not political.
Stop. You can tell you've got English friends with that one. Jesus Christ, shut up about that. They really need to stop with that.
Quote unquote
that's
from my English. That's your cringe of the
You getting
week.
annoyed about people asking why we're in it. I get annoyed when it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what's your Brexit? I'm like, no, you sent shit.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
you sent absolute shit, guys.
They did. And that's why the UK, and a friend of mine from the UK said, it's so amazing that in 3 years we've turned it around. It's like,
Of course, because they started
'cause
giving
you
a
started
shit.
giving a shit
They
and
got,
taking
they
serious.
got a record label on board that have
That's
good
right.
artists. They started doing fun
For so
staging.
many
Just
years,
think about it, guys.
the UK has seen Eurovision as a bit of a joke.
Yeah, of course. They thought they were too cool for it.
Correct, exactly. So they've started giving a shit.
Moving on from that, I think that it's really great to have the UK finally
Yeah.
getting into it. I'm so excited for them.
Yep.
Tables have turned because like 10 years when we joined, like they were coming last every year and
Every
we were
year.
in the top 10 and now the tables have
We're not
bloody
even
turned.
qualifying. I think Bambi will go high. I don't know if the jury will select Bambi.
Yeah.
And the audience might not either. But like she won't win. They won't win,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
But I think they'll place high because they're bringing something kooky and,
Uh-huh.
and weird. I don't know. What do you reckon?
I love Bambi. I'm with you. I don't think they're going to win, but
Yeah.
I would love that as a surprise.
Yeah.
I think we're going to Croatia next year, but
Yeah, okay.
I still think that there's a chance. And how lame it, like hot take from me, just literally reading out who's the top of the betting odds, but I genuinely feel that way as well.
Yeah, okay.
Some years I don't. So
You might be right about Switzerland, though. Switzerland is one of the hot
I
favourites
don't
as
know.
well.
Yeah, I'd be really happy for
Everyone loves a
Switzerland to
twink.
take it. I think that'd be cool, but it's also an expensive country, Shane,
Yeah.
and I don't want to have to buy tickets to Switzerland.
You just want to go to Croatia.
I've decided I'm going next year. Yeah, I just want to go to Croatia. That's basically what I'm thinking. Who's your favourite? I haven't even asked you that.
Do you know, I'm such a, I'll say nationalist. I can't think of another word. We're our favourite. Like Electric Fields.
yeah.
Like the song, I actually think you said before, is it Switzerland? No, which song has the best lyrics? I can't remember what
I
you
thought
said.
Musti's Before the Party's Over has the best lyrics.
See, I think
of the
ours
pop.
is the best
really?
lyrics.
Yeah, okay.
When you listen to those, singing to the gods and the planets and the Fleetwood Macs and the Janets.
Very Electric Fields.
Very Electric
Yes.
Fields, and I am absolutely gutted we didn't qualify, but I'm not surprised.
Aside from Electric Fields, who else did you like? Or let's say who's in the running currently.
Bambi.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Bambi, definitely. Because that's just like perfection
Yeah,
and
yeah.
queer representation and art and just not my style of music at all, but I loved it. And I quite like, oh my God, it's not coming to me. Doesn't matter. Yeah, Bambi for me.
Amazing.
Bambi.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for a good result
Yeah.
for Bambi.
I like Dizzy as well. Dizzy's good.
Dizzy's great on my Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not that exciting. But
Yeah.
that staging, holy
staging
shit. Best
is-
staging of the year.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
So cool.
Another gay explosion.
Yeah, just gay,
hot
just
dances.
fantastic. They've really knocked it out of the park with that
Yeah.
staging. And that's, again, showing now that they're taking it a bit more seriously. So
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Well, Shane, we did it.
We
We've absolutely decimated
Semi-final two done.
semi-final. I will see you on Sunday morning for the grand final.
I'll
and
see
I'm
you then.
so excited. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Cringe is Real with me, Sam Cremant. If you would like to support the show, rate, review, share, and tell your friends about it. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the show notes.